In today's video, I'll be going over some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth news, speculation, and the fact that E3 is now cancelled and how it impacts Square Enix plans.
Lockhart QT.
Do you all remember E3? I've never been, but I did attend Game Fest in 2011 in the UK, which was very similar. I got to play games like Halo Combat Evolved, Sonic Generations, and Mario Kart 7 before they even released. And I think it's really sad E3 is going away, as it was almost Christmas for us gaming fans. Since COVID and other factors involved, E3 didn't work well online, and now developers are now focused on holding their own gaming events to show their upcoming releases and not attending E3 at all. Recently in the news, you may have heard the fact that companies such as Square Enix, Ubisoft, Sega have all opted out of E3. Well, because of all these reasons, E3, the video game industry's biggest annual expo, has now been cancelled. The show had been due to make its return essentially after years, with COVID being cancelled. It was actually meant to take place this year in LA in June. But in a joint statement, the ESA, which is the US's Entertainment Software Association, and the actual company that run E3, essentially announced that it will no longer be going ahead. Now, one game that I was really looking forward to potentially seeing at E3, and I think we would have seen it if it had gone ahead and if Square Enix had agreed, would have been Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, as well as the next Mass Effect game obviously. Sadly, it looks like we'll have to rely on other means to get our Final Fantasy VII Rebirth fix this summer. But in other news with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, we may not have to wait much longer to hear more information and hopefully get a new trailer on the game. Final Fantasy XVI releases in June, and Square Enix are currently working hard to make sure it releases smoothly and is focusing the marketing campaign to ensure all eyes are on Final Fantasy XVI to essentially make sure it sells well, because for most publishers and developers, unfortunately, that is what matters most. But once Final Fantasy XVI has released, I believe we will get a restart of the marketing campaign for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and we'll get another trailer at either a Square Enix showcase in June or July, or a PlayStation State of Play around this time. But what could we see in this new trailer, footage or presentation? Well, I believe we'll see more of the story, game and combat changes to freshen up the experiences for Rebirth. And if you guys remember in 2019, Square Enix were heavily reliant on E3 to deliver news and a really great presentation on Final Fantasy VII Remake that essentially stole the show for many. But now E3 is cancelled, here's hoping Square Enix will show more either at a Square Enix event, a State of Play, or the Summer Games Fest hosted by Jeff Keighley. Personally, in the next trailer, I think we'll see more of Calm, Costa del Sol, Gongaga and Nibelheim. I currently have no idea if this is going to be a fully open world map, or if it's going to be like Final Fantasy VII Remake where the game is split up into linear areas and you can essentially select each one. Personally, I think it will be like an open map where you can actually select the different areas then travel to them. However, I do think that I'll have to make another video on that because it's quite an extensive topic to go into now. Anyway guys, tell me in the comments below, are you excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? I'm going to be covering it more on the channel. And are you sad at the fact that E3 has been cancelled? Personally, I'm quite sad because I really liked, although I never attended, I did plan on one day attending when I was old enough, and obviously now I'm in my mid-20s, so I reckon I could. But anyway guys, tell me in the comments below, are you excited, and are you going to miss E3? Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.